Dr. Izzeldin Abuelaish, thank you very much for being with us tonight in Brussels. Almost 5 years ago, you lost 3 daughters and a niece to an Israeli rocket attack on your house in Gaza. Now, how did you live through the latest round of war against Gaza just this month when you were not in Gaza?
I wasn't in Gaza physically, but I was in Gaza by mind, by heart, by soul. And what happened 5 or 4 years ago, it's living with me and will continue to live with me as I am breathing, as I am living. Seeing my daughters killed in front of me will never be erased from my mind. And what happened the last month, I saw in each child, my daughters Bisan, Mayar, Aya, and Noor, as if someone in this world is insisting not to help in healing the wounds, but to deepen the wound and to make it infected. It was very painful. I felt sad, angry, and outraged. What can I do to stop it? Because I was burned by the fire of the loss, of the killing, and to understand the meaning of the loss and what can be done to stop this human craziness of killing innocent civilians, children, and Palestinian mothers.
And do you have the feeling that you've been working for 4 years after this tragedy in your life to talk to everybody, to tell them to stop the violence? It still doesn't work. Do you feel that nobody is listening?
I will continue to work. I will continue to fight for this cause because it's a holy and noble cause. I will never give up. Violence, when we speak about violence, it's not the issue of no one is listening to it. It's lack of efforts to prevent and to stop the one who is starting and escalating the violence. It's time the world to take a look. We don't want to be silent or violent. We need to be proactive and active and to find the roots of the violence. The violence in the region and this world, it has causes. For the Palestinian and Israeli conflict, the violence there that we look at it as violence, we should change that equation. There is occupation and people who are occupied. And to get rid of this cycle of violence and the craziness is to put an end to the occupation. And the other day, 29th of November, was a turning point in the history of the world when they realized and recognized the Palestinian state as the first step for the future independent Palestinian state side by side to an Israeli state. That's the key and the way forward to get rid of any violence. Any violence in this world, it has causes. And don't focus on violence. Go ask 5 times why. What are the causes? What is behind it? And if you want to treat the causes. At the end, there will never be violence.
But if you say that the cause of this endless cycle of violence is the occupation by the Israeli state, then the day after the vote in the United Nations, the Israeli government announced that they will upscale the number of houses built on Palestinian territory. So they don't seem to be taking this vote as a way forward, but they seem to...
It's time for the world and the international community to say its word. If we want to have order in this world, no one above the international law and the international system. It's time for Europe, for everyone to speak out, to speak louder. This is not acceptable. And what is applicable in this place to be applicable there. And there is a power and a strength in the international community to impose action and to prevent Israel from this violation, which at the end is helpful to Israel, from this self-destructive act. What Israel is doing, it's self-destructive. And this will track and trap the Palestinians into violence. And we are fed up with violence.
And do you have the feeling that you know quite a few people in Israel because you've been working as a doctor in Israel in an Israeli hospital? Do you have the feeling that Israeli public opinion is also ready to change and to opt for peace and living side by side?
Peace is a big word. It's not an abstract peace. We use it sometimes as a word. But peace is far beyond that. Peace where we live it and we sacrifice for it. We touch it. We enjoy the peace. That's the peace we are willing. And when you ask about the Israeli public, I can't generalize to say all of the Israeli public. There are Israeli friends who believe in living together, in sharing together. But when I analyze the political map of Israel, now we are in front and before the elections, I see most of the Israeli public is moving to the right wing, supporting the current Israeli government, like Netanyahu, Lieberman, and others who believe in just talks, not in translation of the peace treaties into action. So it's time for the world, for everyone in this world, to do its part and to speak out, to help the Israelis to open their eyes that your safety, your security, your dignity, your freedom, and your future is linked to the Palestinian safety, security, dignity, freedom, and the future. This is the key. It's not in the military machine or to ask, we want to have security of the Israelis. It's not in the gun, it's not in the tank or the Apache. It's in giving the Palestinians their rights.
And what would you say can Palestinians do to make this a reality?
The Palestinians, they are ready to accept it and to believe in it and to build on it and to move ahead with it.
And you're now in Brussels. Brussels is, of course, Belgium, but it's also the center of Europe, some say. What would you feel that Europeans can do to support what sometimes is called a peace process, or let's say a way forward towards a peaceful Middle East?
The Europeans, they can play active role in this conflict as they are used to do. And they are the main supporter of the Palestinian Authority financially. They can be the main supporter of justice of the Palestinians by speaking out, by taking active steps towards achieving this peace that we missed in that area and imposing the regulations which are equal on both sides, because justice is to have one color on the Israelis and the Palestinians, not to be biased. And I think they started to do it and they can continue. You see, 29th of November, most of the European countries, they voted pro a Palestinian state.
Are you a little bit sad, though, that not all of Europe voted pro and that the United States and Canada voted against the proposal?
I am an optimistic person. I look at the majority. 139 countries, they voted pro. And there were 9 countries who voted against the Palestinian state. These 3 countries, 4 countries that are well known. It's, Israel. Of course, you expect it. That I was expecting Israel to be the first to recognize the Palestinian state, because this will help Israel more than anyone else. Recognition of a Palestinian state is for the interest of Israel. The states, Canada and the Czech Republic, Panama and other few, Iceland, I never heard about them. Sorry to say that, 15,000, 500,000 people, if they are defending the freedom they have, why not to defend and to fight for the freedom of the Palestinians? They should feel we are fighting for the freedom of all, because they are not free as long as Palestinians are not. Voting for the freedom of the Palestinians, this is for their own freedom.
Okay, thank you very much, Dr. Abuelaish, and thank you very much for coming to share our Mo anniversary in Brussels.
Thank you so much.